So here's the dollhouse before. It's very, very cute. My husband put it together for us the night before Christmas Day, and my daughter opened it on Christmas Day and she loves it. It was actually a gift from her aunt, well, my aunt, but I wanted to remodel it for the Maileg mice and kind of make it into a more vintage cottagey type style instead of this cartoony style that it is. So here I am doing the first measurements. I really did not know what I was doing. I feel like in hindsight I didn't need to do it this way necessarily, but what I did is I just used a tape measure, measured each panel of the wall that I was going to wallpaper, and then I made a pattern with some paper, just plain white paper, to measure before cutting. So I would cut this and then make sure it was right before cutting the final sheet of wallpaper I had. I got a lot less careful as I went on. This is the very first time, so yeah, I was very careful. And you'll see, but I used several different materials for the walls. This one was the easiest to apply in some ways. It was a big sheet of sticker wallpaper made for dollhouses from Etsy, and yeah, it worked great. It's pretty forgiving. I could cut it and place it and then peel it off and place it again, and it stuck on really well and held it stick. The pattern is so cute. It's these tiny wildflower bunches, and I wanted this for the master bedroom on the top floor of the dollhouse. So once it looked good, I peeled it off, put it on, and here I was using this little baking scraper, but I realized pretty quick I didn't need that. This was the trickiest part by far, doing these pointed parts of the dollhouse walls, and yeah, it took a lot of measuring to get right. I had to make a pattern, then make a new one after checking it, make with some adjustments. And then once it was finally right, I cut the paper. You can see here me readjusting the paper. It worked pretty well. There was still a little bit of ripples or bubbles, but overall pretty good. I definitely feel respect for people who do real wallpaper. Yeah, this is every time I worked on the dollhouse, I was breaking out in a sweat. It was kind of stressful, and it looks easy and fast maybe because all these scenes are sped up, but it took a lot of time. I worked on this, there were several sessions over several days, hours, but I was so in the zone and it felt awesome to do something like this. Time just flew by. It felt very exciting, and it's just fun to do something like this. So here I was running out of paper, so to do this last wall, I just cut it into pieces instead of one solid piece, and just kind of used what I had left and pieced it together, and it worked great. So top floor done. Now I went to the bathroom floor, which I just used a piece of regular paper from Etsy that's made to look like tile floor. It was a really thin paper. I love this. I love seeing my daughter. She's having the mice test out the flooring here. It's so cute. They're dancing on the bathroom floor. But yeah, so I wish I would have done since the sheet didn't all fit there, I'm learning now that I've done this, I would have done the little piece in the back of the room so it's not as visible in the front, and put the whole sheet in the front. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, it turned out working well. I lined up the patterns so it matched, so you can't really tell, but that worked great. I'm just using Mod Podge. I use Mod Podge a ton. If it wasn't a peel and stick vinyl thing, which almost all of it's not, like here I'm doing the kitchen floor also with a piece of paper I got to look like tile floor for the kitchen on Etsy, and I used Mod Podge. Here's what I used for the kitchen walls. Oh, and back to the bathroom, I had to use white paper, just plain white copy paper, Mod Podge it on first to hide the pattern, because the cloth I ended up using, yeah, see, I put some fabric there, and since it's so pale, it was kind of see-through, and I had to do paper first to block the pattern. But yeah, so I used a mix of paper and fabric. I used fabric for the bathroom, and these are just fabric pieces that I had from my stash. And then I got these wood floor papers from Amazon, and they worked great. I did that in the living room, the master, and the little girl mouse's bedroom. And yeah, it was fun. I also had to line up the patterns there, and now I just have to do the top floor bedroom, the master bedroom floor. So this hole was for that stairway, but I decided to take the stairway out so we could use that room that the stairs were in as the bathroom. So I just blocked it off with some tape and some cardboard. I know that's not maybe the best, but it was the fastest and easiest way I could figure out how to fix that problem. So there's the kitchen all done, but there's one wall left and I didn't have paper for it, so I decided to use this yellow fabric to make an accent wall there. It worked really well. I like it. I like the blue, yellow, and red together. So cute. This is the fabric I'm going to use for the little girl mouse's room. And finally doing the roof with peel and stick paper I got from Etsy. This took the longest to come, the exterior pieces. And here I am just showing all the finished rooms. I love the living room fabric. That's fabric I used to make a quilt for my master bedroom, so it's kind of special. The exterior stone wall peel and stick paper turned out really well. And yeah, I use this X-Acto knife a ton, so handy. And yeah, here I am. My husband got this shot. I'm in full-blown postpartum hair loss, so don't judge my hair. It is crazy right now. I toyed with the idea of doing baseboards, but I actually decided against it. I cut all these little bamboo sticks for baseboards, and I guess I still might add them later, but I don't know. Some of the floors are sagging, like on the top floor, and I just thought it looked bad. So here's the master bed, painted, dining table, painted. These are from Amazon, and yeah, I just took the little mattresses that came with them and glued some fabric on top to make them look like they have sheets on. I thought this polka dot fabric worked well for all the beds, so I did this for the bunk beds, for the little girl mouse's room, and also for the master bed. Yeah, I just used a hot glue gun for this. It worked out well. So here I'm starting to make the quilts. I did quilts for the little girl room bunk beds. I used fusion paper, I think that's what it's called. I can never remember what it's called, but yeah, I'll type it in the description box maybe. But this made it a lot faster and easier, and yeah, it did make them kind of stiff, but I washed them and they loosened up a lot after washing them. I did cut the seams because I felt like once I trimmed the excess off the seams, it made it like less of a huge bump underneath whenever I was doing the quilting. So instead of doing binding, I just made the back piece for the quilt a lot larger and then folded it over and made it into a binding later, as I'm showing here. So one of the quilts will be for a little boy mouse. That's the little brother in our family, and the pink and purple one for the girl mouse. So these are some of the Maileg dollhouse pieces I bought. Almost all the stuff we have from Maileg came from my mother-in-law, who got a Maileg. I guess you're supposed to pronounce it Maileg. I realized I've heard that online, but yeah. So my mother-in-law got us started, and she was so sweet. She got so many things. She got the bathtub, the toilet, the rocking chair, basically everything, and all the mice. Yeah, we love it. It's so cute. So here it is with all the furniture in there. So it's a mix of real Maileg stuff for their dollhouses, and their stuff is definitely the highest quality. It's so nice. I was shocked. And then a lot of the stuff I got on Amazon is pretty high quality. I was pretty impressed with it, especially with some paint on the table. It turned out really cute. That washing machine in the back in the kitchen there has turned out to be by far my daughter's favorite thing. She loves to stuff their little clothes in there and pretend they're washing. And the TV is from Maileg as well. It's so cute. It looks so real. And that little couch. So there it is, all finished. I drilled a hole in the side to put the American flag in there. My daughter is obsessed with flags, so I felt like it had to have a flag. And yeah, I think it's all pretty good. In hindsight, I don't know if I would have chosen the same wallpaper for the little girl's room, but it's great. And later I want to add pictures, and I don't know. This is just the beginning. And here she is playing with the washer. She loves it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.